Okay, okay, I see. Blitz rating plays 6,000, 4,000 games, okay. Seems legit. So we play e4, c5. Some Sicilian. Okay, so d6. I always play this kind of Sicilian. And usually they play d4, an open Sicilian. Holding the lobby is a good sign. Okay, knight f6. So the idea of this d6 move generally is to make it hard for white to push e5, but also to develop the rest of the pieces. Of course, immediately this e5 doesn't work because the queen a5 checks. I mean, duh. But generally speaking, it's better to stop e5. For example, now takes e5 is a line, but it's not very good because black can take. We had a bishop e2 move, was a very old line, and supposed to be okay. Now knight f3 is the better move, but most people play this one. There's this knight here, knight e2, like a lot of maneuvers, combined with bishop to g5, captures knight f6, and fighting for the square. And usually h6 is the right move. And now after knight b3, I can play this bishop e7. Bishop g5 here is not such a big problem. And f4 is a little bit strange. Could play queen b6 or a castle. Yeah, I can see you, Spider Swine. Queen b6, castles or takes. I suppose castles is the safest option here. I'm not so much afraid of this move, I guess. But who knows? f5. I mean, if you can follow it up with a pawn storm. So here I think I'm supposed to play a5, a4. I think this is the right approach. Now, usually when they play a4, you win the b4 square. And if you don't play a4, you can play a4 yourself and kick this knight around and win the square. So he plays a4. Now I have the choice, bishop e6 or knight to b4. Like bishop e6, he plays f5, and I don't want to take. I play taking is of course always an option. Then like knight e8, bishop f6. But okay, I play this very classic. I want to play bishop e6 and then knight takes c2. Some tactical trick combined with queen b6, check, and takes the knight. That's basically the next move, bishop e6. When they play f5 as a response, you can play bishop d7, bishop c6, and force through this pawn push with d5. So those are the basic ideas. So he plays this move f5 now, but I could play for d5 immediately if I wanted to. The alternative would be to play bishop d7 and then bishop c6, b6, bishop b7. I would prefer bishop d7 if I really want to play this plan. But d5 takes. It's a little bit dry. It's not that much. Check, he just moves away. You know what, I'll play this risky. I want to play with this for the win. So I'll play bishop d7. In the end, maybe it turns out that d5 was the way to go. I don't know. Yeah, he exchanged all the stuff like d5, takes probably with a queen, takes. I'm not sure I win this one. So now I could play bishop c6, but he goes bishop g5. That's his idea. Could also play rook c8. Yeah. Or h6. I guess I play bishop c6. I control the square with 2 minor pieces, so even if he takes here, dark squares are rather exposed. Yeah, exchanges. I don't give him much chances to make mistakes when I exchange pieces. Of course, I keep pieces on the board, so I can make life difficult for me as well. So usually that's why people say it's risky. It's a more risky option. Eventually I will probably have to play d5. But I want to play all the standard moves I usually play it anyway, like probably rook c8, maybe h6, the h6 move. I'm not 100% sure about this one. Like h6, I have to evaluate this one. And I think it's okay to play it right now. Like for black. I think I can allow this one. Because the square is protected with 2 minors, and as long as it's protected by 2 minors, he cannot place a piece there. Every time he places a piece there, I just exchange, and he places a pawn on d5, and d6 is basically shielded. Shielded is a word. Okay, knight takes e4. Doesn't work. Bishop takes e7. Okay, wait a second. Does this idea even work? Takes. If he takes the bishop, okay, I can take here. If he takes with the knight, whoops. Bishop g5. I suppose it works. If I take here, he takes on e7. Queen b6, king h1 is not enough, and if I go knight takes c3, he can take b takes c3, takes here, takes on b4, and I lose. And d5 doesn't work either. He queen b6, king knight e4. Screw you. d5, he takes, don't have anything. So I just play rook c8. Yeah, my friend at this idea takes, queen b6, or start with queen b6, king h1, and then queen g1. If it takes the rook, it's mate on f2. This doesn't work, unfortunately, because of course I can take with the king on g1. So yeah, so rook c8. I'm not 100% sure this piece belongs here. I think it does, but I'm a little bit unsure about the correct placement of the pieces. Yeah, I want to make some tactical stuff work, like with queen b6, because stuff is hanging and it's a little bit loose, especially c2 pawn always needs protection because of the knight on b4. And I assume white doesn't like it, that I target this pawn. At the same time, he's targeting as a5 as well, and that's annoying for me. I assume queen d2 is a move. That would be logical. And maybe I play b6 eventually. Okay, rook f2. Looks like this idea is to play rook d2. Okay. I think I should queen b6. He takes. And I can take c2 if I like. But there's knight d5. Wait, I take on b3. Okay, there's some complicated stuff. You know what? I play h6. That was the first move that wanted to be played. That was my first instinct. Because I feel this bishop here is a little bit annoying. Like if I go here, queen d2, just in general, if I play h6, he might sack or something. I don't want to give him this option. So takes, knight, this one takes, he takes e7 again. Wait, I can take f2. Yeah. Wait, knight takes e4. If I take the bishop, I take h4. That's good. Knight takes e4, he takes the knight, I take h4. Winning something as well. Okay, I can play rook d2, but I've got the bishop pair. I can't even give up the piece, something there. So takes, he takes e7, that's the critical one. Then knight takes f2. Then oh, I would just like to play it. Okay, takes, 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 and eventually I take b4, takes e3. But takes e7, takes e7, takes f2, queen takes d6. I'll play it. I don't know, bishop takes a5, knight takes c3. Okay, if it takes here, I can just take the bishop. The problem is I'm not very motivated to calculate stuff. That's why I don't like to play rapid in general. I don't like to think about my moves. I know that's not a good idea. Not a good idea in general. I know. I've played so many games in my life. I'm so lazy. I just cannot do it. I just cannot get myself to think so much about the game. But I think it works. Like I have calculated queen d6 and I've calculated bishop takes d8. It should work. Queen d6, okay. So I could play queen b6. Problem is he has this queen to c5. Okay, and if I just take the queen, like play it super simple. Takes and then play rook d8. Takes b4, for example. And recapture the pawn. This knight is hanging. And yeah, it should be winning, right? Maybe I'm just miscounting. I could take c2, could take f3, could play rook d8. Up material. Wondering about this one. Okay, I play rook d8. I think it should be working. So now c3 is hanging. Okay, if I take now with the rook, he has to move the knight. Then I take c2, right? Of course, he has knight to a5. But that's losing. Can take, rook b1, rook d1, wins. Oh, he resigns. Game over? What? My first rapid came in about 2 years. Let's look at the analysis of this game. Or it was already analyzed. So, turns out I made one mistake in this game. Let's look at it from the beginning. So this was all pretty natural. So computer doesn't like bishop b2, and the thing is, usually people play this bishop g5. That's called the Richter-Rouser. Sorry, my chat is not updating. Sorry, I cannot read all the... Oh no, people are talking so much and I cannot see it all. Sorry. So bishop g5 usually is the Richter-Rouser. Like, people play this, the computer for example recommends it, and a6, and I think you can play like this. And that's super sharp stuff, and there are a lot of games played in this line. Yep, so that's the rouser. And the other move is bishop c4. But when people first started encountering this knight c6 idea, which is called the Classical Sicilian, people used to play bishop e2. Then they were faced with e5. And the guy, just a side note, that found this bishop g5 was, I think it was, this guy's name was Rouser, and he was super obsessed with the white opening, and he wanted to prove that white is basically better in all those positions where he has this one move advantage. Yeah, and he found bishop g5 for some reason. Okay, so bishop e2, e5. Okay, and now here, the thing is, people don't play knight f3 as often. Usually people all play knight b3 because it's very similar to the Najdorf. But don't get fooled by this, knight f3 is a stronger move. And here we have the database of leeches, and if we switch to the masters, you will see, oh, knight f3. Better score than the knight b3 move, and also recommended by the engine. So remember, knight f3, and generally speaking, if you play bishop e7 here, which I already tried, for example, bishop g5, as you can see, is a really pain in the ass. White will take here, take, and then just put a piece on d5 and control this square. The knight is not on b3, where it can be a nice target for a5, a4, but it's on f3, and you have a lot of options. Knight to d2, f1, e3, d5, or you can go this route, knight to d5. Yeah, somehow this is just pretty good, and that's why people in this position all play h6. While after knight b3, as it was played in the game, people don't play h6, people just play like bishop e7, and I think bishop g5, there's a tactical refutation as well. Bishop here, knight takes e4 as far as I know. Strong. Supposed to be good, like takes, knight takes d6, yes, king e7. I can switch off this book, I know it by heart, and sorry, if you move the knight, I exchange queens, and if you take here, rook takes. Yeah, screw you pointing this out. Yeah, I remembered that knight f3 was the better move. I was not sure. I thought, was it the maneuver? Then I thought, wait, knight can also go here and here. And I wasn't sure, and I was like, I know that knight f3 is the better move. Tried to remember the reason. So f4 was a bit weird. And I'm sure people played queen b6 as well, at least in leeches. Yeah, people played some queen b6, but yeah. Castle short, and a5. Yeah, there's also this other idea where you can take here and then play like knight e8, I think. like, not here. I think bishop e6 first, like king h1, and then like, okay, here you can probably play d5, but I think here like people play like this, but it doesn't work as always. Yeah, a5, a4. Usually people play a4, and that's supposed to be good. Knight b4, f5, yeah, and h6 or d5. Yeah, those are all the moves was also referring to. And this d5. Here you can take. Follow this one. I would take with the queen actually. And take, yeah. I mean, not a bad position, but you're not gonna win this one as easily. So I play bishop d7. I wonder where this mistake comes. Here, and now d5. Yeah, sorry, no clue what this is. Takes and then bishop takes f5. What? Hitting this guy. Okay, and the other one is, why not this one? Okay, there were some complications. I did not see that, of course. Beside that, h6. Yeah. Okay, this was all good. Yeah, takes. Yeah, I was thinking about this knight a5. I wanted to go for this idea, like rook b1 or something, and then rook d1. I cannot stop the pawn. Okay, next game.